shelter. What's gonna happen to us? All the steps we take, all the moves we make, all the pain at stake. I see the chaos for everyone. Who are we, or what can we do? You and I are the same in the way that we have our own styles and we won't change. Yours is filled with evil and mine is not. There is no way I can lose. Alright. Stream is up and running. Welcome back to Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. Where last we left off, I believe I was partway through a trial. Where's my controller? Here it is. Gotta plug it in. Oh, actually, given how it likes to have a fit, maybe I should plug it in after I start the game up. Oh, no. Then it might not register it at all, and then it'll press 2 million buttons constantly, as it likes to do when I plug it in the middle of anything. Anyway. Wait, no, we weren't in the middle of trial. We were going to trial. The trial will start in this thing. We need to prove who this orb thing belongs to. Also, a murder happened, but at the moment that's been ruled an accident, so it's not really our problem as of yet. How's my audio? Oops. Looks good. Get into it. May 17th, 10:08 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 3. Just so you know, I'm not going to take sides. Message received, loud and clear. Good, because I don't like this one bit. You and Daddy should be on the same team. Sorry, Trucy. Wow, she's really mad. I'm sorry, cute little lady. This is all my fault. I'm just worried things will never be the same between Daddy and Apollo. If they go through with this. Is that all? Well, I wouldn't worry about that. That's the way it is with us men. We may fight, but we don't burn bridges. Really? Sure, one minute we're trading blows, and the next we're having drinks together. We're simple creatures at heart. I sure hope you're right. Sorry I'm late, Apollo. Athena, there you are. What happened with you and Mr. Wright yesterday? Oh, about that. I ended up going to the wrong airport. I was waiting there thinking his flight was really late, and before I knew it, I dozed off. By the time I woke up, it was already dark. I figured something like that had happened. Being late and dozing off are the two things you do best. Guilty as charged. So then, I take it you have no idea what today's case is about? Not a clue. Sorry. What is today's case about, if I might ask? Another locked room mystery? A suspect with a flimsy alibi? Ooh, or a dying message? Sorry, strike 3, you're out. It's a civil case. A civil case? You act like I'm speaking Swahili here. It's just the Wright Anything Agency specializes in criminal law, or so I thought. In civil cases, there are no prosecutors, right? Instead, both parties retain an attorney. Right, and the other attorney is someone you know very well. Really? Who? Trial will begin shortly. Please proceed to the courtroom at once. Okay, let's do this. Paula, wait, who's the other attorney? And where's Mr. Wright? No time to explain. Let's go. Okay, right behind you. May 17th, 10:30 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 6. Court is now in session. All rise. Court is now in session. Oh, is this some sort of practice session? A mock trial, perhaps? No, it's not, Your Honor. Shoot. It's a mat that landed on my screen. It's the real deal, Your Honor. So then you two have had a falling out? I won't have you using my courtroom for that, you know. It's nothing like that, Your Honor. Exactly. It just so happens that we have different clients in this case. I see. Well, here's to hoping this has no adverse effect on your working relationship. You can say that again? I had no idea we'd be going up against the boss today. Ugh. You sure this is a good idea, Apollo? What? Do you want to switch sides? Honestly, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. Well, at least she is here. I'm really going to need her help. Mr. Justice. Yes? Don't expect me to pull any punches just because you're the opposing lawyer. As I said, the kid gloves are off. And come what may, they'll stay off. Same here, Mr. Wright. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. Yeesh. You guys are really chomping at the bit, aren't you? I don't mind a good fight between co-workers. Just keep this case civil. Just keep this civil case civil. Now then, if the plaintiff would take the stand, we may begin. Alright, you're still doing that. Noble judge, members of the gallery, good day to you. I am Paul Addison. This is but the start of my epic campaign, and you all have the honor of witnessing it. I believe the youth of this country are our very future. Too long have they been looked down on and given the cold shoulder. So, to them I say, ask not what you can do for your country, ask what you can do for me. Mr. Addison, what is this crazy contraption you're riding in? It's not really a contraption, it's a box that people carry. This is my custom-made, election-winning campaign mobile. Beautiful, isn't it? You are at a witness stand, not a campaign podium. Let's come out of there this instant. Still want to label yourself? That's fine. Alright, now with the plaintiff's attorney, Mr. Wright, please explain the complaint filed against the defendant. Mr. Addison's complaint against the defendant is simple. The defendant, one Dirk Sadmahi, stole my client's family heirloom, the Crystal of Ami Faye. Mr. Ashton merely seeks its return. This wouldn't have happened if that archaeologist hadn't kicked the bucket. I see. Well, Mr. Justice, let's have your opening statement, if you would. The defense asserts that the item in question is the Founder's Orb, a sacred relic from Kudain. Go on. It seems somebody asked an archaeologist, Dr. Archie Buff, to study the orb. Dr. Buff determined that it was a Kudainese national treasure known as the Founder's Orb. The very orb that was stolen from a treasure room in Kudain several weeks ago. Why, yes, I saw a news report about that. The theft of a Kudainese national treasure caused quite an uproar in the kingdom. Well, we believe that it was not, in fact, a theft in the traditional sense, but rather that it was spirited out of Kudain by someone for Dr. Buff to study. You don't say. And around that time, an acquaintance of the defendant learned of Dr. Buff. He made contact with the doctor, who agreed to hand over the orb. Apparently, the doctor wanted nothing to do with it once he'd learned it had been stolen. Seems you even have a transfer agreement between both parties. Mr. Sadmahi also agreed to return the Founder's Orb to the Kingdom of Kudain, once the doctor verified it was the real thing. I see. So this dispute centers on whether the item in question is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Ami Faye. That, in turn, will determine the object's rightful owner. Do you have any pictures of the crystal before from, like, a while ago? We know we don't have any of the orb, aside from what exists as part of this research thing. But was the crystal also kept out of photographs? I'd better bring my A game. Going up against Mr. Wright won't be a walk in the park. Come to think of it, the name Dirk Sadmahi sounds awfully familiar. I can't recall where I've heard it. It's probably your imagination, Your Honor. He's just a tourist, after all. My imagination, you say? Are you sure about this, Apollo? He's a wanted criminal in Kudain, isn't he? In Kudain, yes. Here, he's just a tourist. Very well, let's begin the proceedings. Okay. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness? Hi. Ah. Emma. Show some manners, we're in court. I know, it's just, this is a civil trial, so I was surprised to see a detective take the stand. I had to do some digging on Dr. Buff. What for? You disappoint me, Apollo. First, you know I'm not just a detective, I'm a forensic scientist. Do try to remember that. Second, you owe Mr. Wright an apology. After all he's done for you, you have some nerve. First, I'm sorry, and second, I'm really just trying to do my job. You'll never get anywhere with that attitude. Take some advice from someone who's been there. Why do I feel like I'm on trial here? Detective Skye, your testimony, if you please. Alright, so what's the deal here? Doctor's dark secret, ooh. The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study. Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae clan. That's why he had those. I mean, the urn was from, like, in town. You'd think he'd want to take it out. The statue, at least, was up on a different mountain somewhere, but... It seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Atchison residence. The doctor is a thief? Why am I just hearing about this now? Well, cat burglar isn't something he'd put on his resume. He was more careful than that. But the fact is, he was a classic treasure hunter. A treasure hunter, huh? Like people who have thrilling adventures in exotic places, risking life and limb for glory. I doubt Dr. Buff was the star of his own hit movie series, Athena. Out of respect for the dead, I will say that Dr. Buff wasn't doing it to get rich. Apparently, he only wanted to borrow artifacts to study them. He would then return them as soon as his research was finished. According to the doctor's child, he would even repair or restore some of the artifacts he stole before returning them. He believed he was honoring the dead by discovering their history through artifacts. But whatever lofty ideals he held, it makes no difference. Larceny is larceny. Yes, he certainly sounds no different from a regular thief to me. So, let's say for a moment that the doctor really did moonlight in stealing artifacts. Might he not have stolen the Founder's Orb in Kudain and brought it back here himself? Nope. There's no record of him traveling overseas over the past few years. Plus, he couldn't very well leave his reclusive child at home all alone. And this really must be the crystal of Almi Faye. Yes, he stole it from the Atchison residence, probably so he could study it. This is the left hook I did not need. I bet you never saw that coming, Apollo. Yeah, when Mr. Wright said the kid gloves were off, he wasn't kidding. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Alright. Doctor's dark secret. Police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time.
Hold it!
How exactly did Dr. Buff arouse the suspicion of the police anyway? Chalk it up to good old-fashioned sleuthing. After investigating countless artifact thefts over the past few years, the police finally zeroed in on him and the doctor became their prime suspect. A number of those artifact thefts occurred in Kudain Village too, if I might add. And they started right around the time the doctor moved there. I thought he moved there 6 months ago. Didn't he, do I have any information that says that? I just remember, the kid saying, his mother died like 6 months ago or something. Wasn't it? Something like that? Oh well. We'll see. But he was never arrested. I take it there was nothing concrete linking him to a crime? No, which is why we were never able to get a search warrant in the first place. It's hard to arrest artifact thieves unless you catch them red-handed. Still, the police had him under constant surveillance. Not very close surveillance. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study. Oh, hold on a second. My blanket. Sort it out. Cold. Where? Alright. That should do it.
Hold it!
Alright, what else was stolen? Are you sure these allegedly stolen artifacts are the real deal? They're not fakes, that's for sure. Take the urn, for example. Apparently, it's an extremely intricate work of art. Its design, cracks, and other features would be impossible to replicate perfectly. Actually, I've had a few run-ins with that urn myself. So I was shocked to see it there in the doctor's study. I can say now without a doubt that that urn was stolen from the Fae clan. I see. Detective Sky, please continue with your testimony if you would. Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae clan.
Hold it!
Were any other stolen artifacts found besides those belonging to the Faes? Yes, for instance. Remember the large relief on the wall? It was chiseled out of some ancient ruins in the kingdom of Kodain several years ago. How do you steal something that big? Chiseled out? Didn't that damage it? Well, he did restore the parts that were so faded you could barely see them anymore. It seems he intended to return it someday, so one could say his intentions were good. But good intentions are no get out of jail free card. That's a fact. If I might add, with respect for the deceased, the quality of the restoration was apparently exceptional. It seems the doctor invested a lot of money in hiring an extremely talented specialist. He sounds like a good man who took a wrong turn somewhere. I guess Sarge takes after him in that way. Any further questions? If not... It seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them.
Hold it!
Had these alleged thefts been going on for some time? At least 5 years, as far as we can tell. All the recent thefts had been local, but before moving into Kodain Village, he had been stealing from ruins around the world. Dr. Buff was an international criminal. This data lends itself to but one conclusion. Dr. Buff was a thief. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Addison residence.
Hold it!
You claim he stole a family heirloom from the Addison residence, but claiming something doesn't make it true. Unfortunately, it is true. How can you be so sure? A police report was filed concerning the theft. 1 year ago, in fact. What? A whole year ago? August 25th of last year, to be exact. Report states, and I quote, "The crystal of Amife was discovered to be missing from the Addison storehouse at 10 a.m. The storehouse lock had been picked." Signed, Paul Addison Wimperson. Well, a year-old report certainly lends the plaintiff's claim credence. I can speak. The doctor really could have stolen the crystal of Amife. Not only that, Your Honor, the Founder's Orb was only found to be missing several weeks ago. That is nearly a year after the crystal theft was reported. Therefore, I believe we must consider the orb and the crystal to be two separate items. Paul Addison Wimperson? Not the most awe-inspiring tail end, is it? I see why he cut it. Not that he inspires confidence without it. Still, I'd probably do the same in his shoes. Our report added to the court record. A report filed a year ago by one Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson for the theft of the crystal of Amife. A police report was filed about the crystal's theft a year ago, but the theft of the Founder's Orb was only reported a few weeks ago. So the crystal's police report was filed way before the orb was found missing. That suggests the stolen relic is the crystal Wami Fei, as Mr. Addison Wimperson asserts. I doubt the police report is a fake. After all, Emma is the one who submitted it as evidence. Still, I feel like something we learned in that police report is important somehow. Let's take a closer look then. Crystal of Wami Fei was discovered to be missing from the Addison storehouses at 10 a.m. Storehouse lock had been picked. Oh, Addison Wimperson. Maybe I should look over the evidence I have, just generally. It's been a minute. Sure is an orb. That's not helpful. Let's see. Oh, yeah. When did we get this? No real details on when this was around. Decipher the patterns, but have yet to crack the riddle. The opaque crystal orb is the key. Paw. Oh! The username. Oh, Addison Wimperson 711. I don't know what those numbers are any good for, but there's no date attached to this. But I guess we can use it to be like, hey, looks like he wasn't stolen in the first place. How's that?
Objection!
The doctor stole the relic from the plaintiff. Are you sure? Because that statement doesn't agree with a certain piece of evidence. What do you mean? Take a look at this. It's a stick. Enjoy. What about it? This contains an email from the doctor's computer. Email? That is in that little piece of plastic. I'm afraid I don't understand. Surely you have something you can read it with? This stick here can store all sorts of computer data. I still don't get it. Here, just look at this. Apparently, the doctor was reporting his research findings to a certain individual. Now, take a look at this. It's the police report Detective Skye presented to this court. You can see the plaintiff's legal name on it. Paul Addison Wimperson. I can see why he dropped the Wimperson from his name, but that's hardly breaking news. Look closer, Your Honor. Ah, his initials. Right. The plaintiff's full legal name is Paul Addison Wimperson. Now, consider this. The email's recipient address starts with 3 letters. P-W-A-W. Ah! Don't tell me. Oh, but I will anyway. The individual who hired the doctor to study the disputed item is none other than Paul Addison Wimperson. Wait, then that means... Exactly. He wouldn't have asked the man who stole his family heirloom to study it. Therefore, how could this possibly be the crystal of Ami Faye? We never check the doctor's emails. If you're suspecting of him stealing things, that might be a good place to start. Just go through the whole computer. Whatever. Not sure it necessarily indicates that it's not his crystal so much as if it was his crystal, it wasn't stolen. He just filed it as stolen for some reason, but I don't know why you bother doing that. If it wasn't, if you just gave it to some guy to study it, that's fine and normal. There's no reason to hide that. We couldn't even figure out the password to his computer. The plaintiff willingly left the orb in the doctor's care so he could study it, at the behest of his benefactor. Wait, and what about the police report? I have all the details of the theft right here. It's probably for another relic, the real crystal of Ami Faye. He's just using the report as a way to claim that our orb is actually his stolen crystal.
Objection!
And how are you so certain that PAW refers to my client's initials? Maybe the email's recipient was a dog lover. Perhaps. So let's get to know your client a little better, shall we? Mr. Paul Atchison Wimperson. I suppose shutting down detractors is all part of a politician's job. Answer me this, Mr. Atchison Wimperson. What is your birthday? What is your birthday? My birthday? It's July 11th, but what is it to you? Oh, I see. You can address birthday gifts to my office. With full disclosure, I only accept gifts valued at $1,000 or more. Yeah, you see what's happening. Why has everyone gone silent? How can anyone be that self-centered? No, right, politician. Did everyone hear that? He said July 11th. July 11th, or rather 7/11. It matches the numbers in the email address. Both the name and birthday are a match. I hardly think that's a coincidence. Wait. Oh, you sneaky little... Looks like someone finally decided to join the conversation. Would the plaintiffs care to explain? I would like to say that's quite... Quite what? Quite a thing you've said. Any other thoughts? No further comments. I stand by my previous statement.
Hold it!
Hey. You can't just walk away. Even politicians have to explain themselves in a court of law. I'm afraid I simply don't know how it happened. I can't possibly explain matters outside of my purview. Perhaps it was a mistake on the part of my secretary. Oh, no, you don't, you slippery eel. Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? I won't argue your assertion. My client lent the treasure in question to the doctor and asked him to study it. It seems that much is a fact. Now we're getting somewhere. However, it has no bearing on the issue of ownership. How so? Mr. Ashton, I fully understand your position here. You had to hide the fact that you sent the crystal out to be studied. Your family would have been very upset if they had found out. It's a family heirloom, after all. You've got to be kidding me. Mr. Wright is. Well, right, of course, but then he always is. That's why he's my lawyer. Crystal is a precious Ashton family heirloom and has been for centuries. But Dr. Buff was so eager to study its proud heritage, I just couldn't say no. I didn't even tell my grandfather.
Objection!
But in order to win the backing of your so-called benefactor, you were going to give what you claim to be the crystal of Ami Faye to that person. You were going to give a precious family heirloom away, just like that. I was going to explain everything to grandfather later, honest. My client's grandfather is very proud of his grandson for following in his footsteps. And if refusing him would have meant dashing the dreams of his darling grandson, I doubt the kindly old man could have said no. Well, grandchildren are meant to be spoiled. That's what grandfathers are for. Your Honor, please. I mean, it's been in this family for centuries. My grandfather thinks highly of my talents as a politician. That's why he entrusted me with this very important name placard today. So I'm sure he would have been okay with me using the crystal as I saw fit. I'm a spoiled little brat. I think the judge is buying it, Apollo. No surprise there. He's always going on about his own grandchildren, after all. Excuse me, can I leave now, Mr. Wright? I believe my work here is done. By all means, Detective Scully. Thank you for your assistance. You're welcome. It's nice to testify at a civil trial. It's nice to testify at a civil trial once in a while. See you around. It seems the facts have changed somewhat. Mr. Addison Wimperson apparently lent his family heirloom to Dr. Buff. Mr. Justice, how would the defense like to proceed? Alright, now what? Apollo, let's hear what they know about this so-called crystal of Ami Faye. Maybe we can find some inconsistencies in their statements. Right. Okay then, Mr. Wright. If the item in question really is an Ashton family heirloom, then let's hear all your client knows about it. Of course. Mr. Ashton Wimperson, please tell the defense everything you know about the crystal's origin. Alright. Now then, listen and learn. This is the tale of the crystal of Ami Faye and the illustrious history of the Ashton clan. Are you ready? Our story begins back in the old country when the Ashton family reigned supreme. The illustrious history of the Ashton clan. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. As thanks, Ami Faye gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift. To him. I am a descendant of that great lord. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history. Well, that devolved into a great load of self-aggrandizing propaganda fast. As you can see, the crystal of Ami Faye is an heirloom of the esteemed House of Addison. And you have proof that it has always been in the Addison family. I have someone who gave a statement to that effect. My client's neighbor, one Shineto, age 85, gave the following statement. The attendant showed me the crystal back when I was but a lad.
Objection!
Can we really trust the memory of an old man? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain that statement to the judge? I didn't mean that. What I'm trying to say is, never underestimate the memory of your elders. I may forget my verdicts the next day, but the memories of my past are clear as day. Therefore, I find Mr. Ives Shineto's statement to be perfectly credible. Wow, did you see how Mr. Wright got the judge on his side? That's definitely a trick I want up my sleeve. You're not helping, Athena. You may cross-examine the witness, Mr. Justice. Alright. Yella, sister. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler.
Hold it!
That object you set down there, is it something of importance to you? It's a name placard. This one here belonged to my grandfather, Abraham Atchison. He had it custom made during his distinguished political career. Oops. It's special because it was crafted from the finest Italian plastic. I wasn't aware the Italians were famous for their fine plastic. You can touch it if you want. No, I'm fine. Very well, I'll just continue with my testimony. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, but he was also an eminent politician. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals.
Hold it!
So I take it the relationship with the Fae clan was a close one. A smooth and open line of communication with my entire electorate. That is the Paul Atchison way. Oh, sorry. I was asking about your ancestor. Whether it's about me or my ancestor, feel free to ask me anything you'd like. Transparency in government. That's the Paul Atchison way. More like dodging questions. That's the Paul Atchison way. Thanks, I'll be sure to ask when I have something you'll actually answer. As I was saying, the Atchison family protected the Fae spirit mediums back then. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power.
Hold it!
Spirit mediums were targets of discrimination. Yes, some people even treated them like they were monsters. The transformation the mediums underwent when channeling spirits frightened the locals. And there were those who tried to use them. You mean they sought to control the channeling powers of the mediums? Discriminating against a minority is absolutely despicable. Vote for me is a vote to end discrimination. I vow to root it out wherever it may be. That is my promise to you. I don't think that most of the people in this courtroom are going to be able to vote for you. You're running for, like, city council or something in a town out, like, 2 hours away in the mountains. I don't think most people here live there. He's totally ignoring your questions. It's like you're a moderator at a political debate. And only he cares about his talking points. As thrilling as your campaign is, could we please get back to your testimony? As you wish. Now then, as for the crystal of Ami Fae. As thanks, Ami Fae gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. You said she had it made, so then it was made in Japan. That's right. They say she hired a famous craftsman to make it. And they say it's quite valuable, too. And you were going to take such a priceless family heirloom and just give it to your patron? That's so typical of you ignorant common types. Making difficult decisions when the chips are down is what being a politician is all about. But only when it's in service of your own political career, you mean. The crystal is a testament to my ancestors' remarkable achievements. And furthermore, I am a descendant of that great lord.
Hold it!
So tell me, Mr. Ashton Wimperson, are you famous in Kurain Village? You could say that, but I find my popularity to be rather bemusing. Bemusing. Yes, my campaign posters keep going missing as soon as I put them up. My avid supporters and female fans are likely taking them home to hang in their bedrooms. I guess ignorance really is bliss. All this only proves my fine lineage. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but is any of that relevant to the issue of the relic's rightful owner? Have you never heard of kingcraft? Kingcraft? It's the art of ruling as a king. My father drilled it into my head from a young age. And one of its precepts states, ruin awaits a ruler who responds to every single issue posed by the masses. Well, that answered my question about what he meant by king of this nation. Progress. Apollo, who is this Ami Faye anyway? I believe she was the founder of the Kurain channeling technique. The plaintiffs claim she had the crystal made for his ancestor. That would mean it was made in Japan, right? Yes, I suppose it would. Yeah. I think what we need here is this, because it's pointing out that the stuff is the same.
Objection!
You stated that Ami Faye had the crystal made for your ancestor. So, am I to assume it was made in Japan? That's right. The craftsmanship is unbeatable. Well, that's strange. I don't see how your so-called crystal could have been made there. What are you talking about? It's quite obvious if you take a closer look at this.
Take that!
Take a look at the distinctive design here. According to Dr. Buff, it's a Mitama motif dating back to the early days of the Kingdom of Kurain. The Kingdom of Kurain, What do you base this on? Here, this piece of evidence, Your Honor. These are the doctor's research notes on the Founder's Orb. This is the box in which the orb was originally stored. It features the same pattern as the one found on the orb. They do look like the same pattern. Therefore, I assert that the disputed item must have been made in the Kingdom of Kurain. Oh, my placard!
Objection!
The Kurain channeling technique originated in the Kingdom of Kurain. And Ami Faye is known to have traveled there to train. With that in mind, what's to say she didn't bring that pattern back with her?
Objection!
But since this is clearly a Kuraine's design, not even you can deny the possibility that it was made there, in the kingdom of Kurain.
Objection!
Anything's possible to some extent. That doesn't make it true. So you can't conclude that the orb is from Kurain based solely on that pattern. If it were that simple, I could just as easily say it's Japanese. I have to agree with Mr. Wright. Pattern alone proves nothing. But that also means there's no basis to claim the item in dispute was made in Japan either. At this rate, we're going nowhere fast. Are you telling me he doesn't have, like, old photographs of it from, like, previously? Presumably there was a crystal at some point, surely. Someone took a picture of it, please. I mean, if they did, I guess we would have had... that would have been presented at this point, but still. Why? He's right, we're spinning our wheels here. I wonder if we have any evidence that could break the stalemate. Evidence that could break the stalemate. Let's see. We have the thing that says the Founder's Orb. It's from him, but that's not. Sacred patterns. No details on that. You have to have something, but I'm not really sure what. That's not helpful. Nothing here is helping. I mean, we have that, but that's about all I can figure. Indicating it was made in Japan. Or Kurain. Let's try the note. The defense would like to present a piece of evidence to the court. A piece that will finally break the stalemate. Oh. Well, you've sure piqued my interest. Let's see what you've got. Alright. I will now prove that this is, in fact, the Founder's Orb. The doctor said it was.
Take that!
And just how does that piece of evidence prove that the relic is the Founder's Orb? It doesn't, does it? Not by any means I can fathom. Sorry, Apollo, but I have to agree with the boss on this. Me too, actually. And 3 defense. Yikes. And to think that one over again, Mr. Justice. Yes, Your Honor. Evidence that could break the stalemate. Oh no. If it's not that, I cannot imagine. There doesn't seem to be anything we can use, at least not at this point. Well, unless we can find something, this trial won't be going anywhere. That's much better. What's his deal? I have a suggestion. Why don't we consider this from a different angle? I'm listening. What if the Defiant Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic? I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright. Consider the orb transfer agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if I will come to no harm. What if, as the last part suggests, this was written under duress? That would render the agreement null and void. What are you suggesting, Mr. Wright? While you were on your little cave expedition, I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident. And there was something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. Namely, that his accident might have actually been murder. What's murder? Mr. Wright, you do realize such statements are not to be made lightly. Are you suggesting the doctor was murdered by the Defiant Dragons? Yes, but follow me on this for a sec. The books that came tumbling down were from the archaeology shelf. However, among that mountain of books was a single volume on psychology. What's more, there was some blood on it. And you feel this is important because... The books that came tumbling down were from the top shelf, the archaeology books. We know this because the doctor's books were meticulously organized by subject. Archaeology books took up the entire shelf, so that psychology book is completely out of place. Come to think of it, the shelves were arranged quite carefully. It's also worth noting that psychology books only take up a tiny part of the bottom shelf. You might wonder why a book on psychology was found amid the pile of archaeology books. But I believe I can explain what that single out-of-place book was doing there. The doctor was struck from behind while selecting a psychology book from the shelf. And that's when the blood got on the book. Precisely. And, to make it look like an accident, he was buried under a mountain of archaeology books.
Objection!
Wait a second. This is all just speculation, right? Or do you have proof that it was murder? Of course I do. You do? On a hunch, I had Detective Skye examine the doctor's head wound. She found that he'd been struck by the corner of some object or another. Wait, what? A wound like that couldn't have resulted from a fall to the floor, you know. Do you understand what this means, Mr. Justice? The wound makes it crystal clear that Dr. Buff was murdered. What? Well, that was unexpected. Who'd have thought we'd break out of the stalemate like this? He pulled the ladder right out from under us. Still, if he thinks that's enough to make me back down, he's got another thing coming. Even if the cause of death was murder, what makes you think that it was the Defiant Dragons? You should know better than to hurl baseless accusations.
Objection!
Did you forget who you were up against, Mr. Justice? You didn't actually think I'd come to court without witnesses and evidence, did you? Did you? What are you talking about? I would like to request further testimony from the plaintiff. Specifically, I would like the court to hear how he saw one of the rebels leaving the crime scene. He saw what? If he can prove it was murder, that's the end of our client's right to the orb. Did he have this up his sleeve the whole time? Ugh, how could Mr. Wright do this to us? He was just waiting to spring this trap. This trial has taken another unexpected turn. But I must mention, Mr. Wright, that you have yet to identify the murder weapon. The object used to commit the murder was not located at the scene of the crime. The murderer likely disposed of it elsewhere. Dr. Buff's autopsy report added to the court record. Struck with the corner of some object. The time of death is between 10 and 11 p.m. Well, I never thought we'd be deliberating the issue of murder at a civil trial. All right, Mr. Ashton Wimperson, your testimony, if you please. Why'd you have to come back? Where did you go? Prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled by charismatic oration forged in the crucible of campaign battles. The rebel's crime. That evening, I was walking alone, lost in thought. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Audible. He was running out the front door. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of his crime. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you. The plaintiff saw a possible suspect fleeing from the doctor's residence, and it was within the window of the estimated time of death. That's audible. What in the world were you doing there then? Study photo updated in the court record. An odd place to put that information, but sure. Seems Mr. Audible was loitering around Codine Village that day. There's evidence he was in the doctor's study as well. Isn't that right, Mr. Justice? You mean the suitcase? Exactly. He must have been in quite the rush to leave that behind. Oh, and by the way, Your Honor, Mr. Audible just so happens to be sitting in the gallery today. See, that's him trying to escape as we speak. Bailiff, don't let that man get away. Right, you backstabber! Why are you doing this to me? Alright, the counsel/defense may question the plaintiff/witness once more. Please proceed, Mr. Justice. Alright. What do I have?
Hold it!
I've been a little lost in thought. Why were you taking a walk? Society is inundated with serious problems that must be solved. And as a politician, I'm always on the job, thinking hard about possible solutions, even on my walks. Thanks for the non-answer. While we live out our comfy lives, there are starving children who suffer the back alleys of our major cities. It's not in me to ignore such suffering. A vote for me is a vote to end hunger and for world peace. Yes, Mr. Ashton Wimperson, we are well aware of your outstanding character. Now, please continue with your testimony. I can practically hear my poll numbers surging. Now on with my speech. After all, the voting public must be informed of the magnificence that is me. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Audible.
Hold it!
Where exactly were you when you saw Mr. Audible? Right here, under this tree. You didn't see the body at that time? I saw him dashing out of Dr. Buff's front door. And he didn't notice you. No, I was hidden by the tree. Is it really all that important to know from where the plaintiff saw Mr. Audible? Very much so. Yes, I believe it matters a lot. I ask that it please be added to the witness's testimony. I was under this tree when I saw Mr. Audible.
Hold it!
What were you doing under that tree? A lack of lateral thinking. That is a politician's downfall. It's overlapping with the text on his little side, and that's making it weird. What? That is why, if I'm elected, I promise to think outside the box. The question was, what were you doing under the tree, Mr. Ashton Wimperson? Suppose I can't expect a plebeian such as yourself to understand my grand design. Oh, yeah, try me, Lord of Plebs. Mr. Ashton Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your grand political vision. Now, let's have the rest of your testimony, if you please. I can hardly wait for the upcoming election. He was running out the front door.
Hold it!
Did you notice anything unusual? Yes, his behavior was incredibly suspicious. His eyes were darting all around as he ran off in total panic. As soon as I saw that, I knew he had done something and it probably wasn't good. Despite that, you still didn't report it to the police. I would have thought he had killed Dr. Buff. Not me. That's why I didn't report him. So the witness didn't notify the police. Is that an important statement, Mr. Justice? Also is, yes. Yes, it's important. I request the witness add it to his testimony. Sure, why not? I had no idea that Dr. Buff was dead. That's why I didn't call the police.
Hold it!
You had no idea he was dead. In other words, you knew nothing about what had happened. I am truly ashamed of myself. What? There's been a gruesome murder in my beloved village. What a fool I've been. I was thinking only of the village's future and world peace. It seems my earnest attitude and industrious nature have come back to haunt me. Only a politician would try to pass off self-aggrandizement as self-depreciation. Apollo, you think this is how all politicians will be from now on? Or all doomed if they are. If you don't mind, I'd like to continue with my testimony. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of his crime.
Hold it!
But at the time, you didn't know the doctor was dead. Is that correct? It's true that I've been known as a prodigy from a very young age. I graduated high school and college with exceptional grades as class president. I reformed stale, old-school traditions. My exploits were even covered in the local papers. But as exceptional as I am, I can't possibly be expected to know everything at all times. This isn't working. He keeps bending the questions to serve his own needs, which aren't really serving his court very well. It's mostly just him being like, elect me, to people who absolutely aren't in the right place to vote for him. So I don't know what he's doing. Hang in there, Apollo. Mr. Atchison Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your exceptional nature. Now, would you please continue with your testimony? I have the upcoming election in the bag. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you.
Hold it!
So, how do you actually intend to end such violence? Elite politicians such as myself never reveal their strategies. Why? Did you really think I would divulge such sensitive information to the likes of you? Yeah, but surely you have some sort of campaign platform you're running on? No comment. Clearly, his a platform told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. I'm guessing that's a quote from something. Sounds a bit familiar. Can't place it though. He said he saw thoughts from under the tree. If that's true, then... Did you figure something out? Yeah, I think he's hiding something. Let's take another look at the evidence, Athena. No, I know exactly what's wrong, although the fact there's two things about it... Maybe if I press it again now that I have the other thing, he'll bring it up.
Hold it!
Let's see. No, it's just, what were you doing? Why? And then you're like, oh, okay. Right. That's not what I asked. I think it'd be easier to point out there are a few things I could try to show here to prove this point. After being stuck on the back of the head with the corner of an unidentified object. That's fine. What precisely do I need here? Let's see. I mean, I could show you the picture. You can see the window quite clearly from here. And then after that, we could point out the layout. Unless you want the layout, but the body's not on the layout. So that doesn't help. Probably better to show the body, and then we can bring up the layout afterwards.
Objection!
Yeah. Mr. Atchison Wimperson, rather than Mr. Audible, wasn't there something else that should have had your undivided attention? Like what? Oh, yes, of course. A politician must also keep his finger on the electorate's pulse and focus on the nation. Sorry, but you're way off. I am. Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? If the witness saw Mr. Audible from his position here, then he should have also been able to see the doctor's body. After all, it was right next to a huge window. I believe you have a point there. With the body that clearly visible to the witness, it's unthinkable that he wouldn't have reported it to the police. Huh. The witness can't respond. Did he fall asleep? Oh, Mr. Ashton Wimperson. Mr. Ashton Wimperson. Huh. Oh, there are many sides to any issue. What did I ever do to deserve this? In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistency in the witness's testimony. Mr. Ashton Wimperson, did you really see Mr. Audible? Yes, sir.
Hold it!
Where are you going? Where do you think you're going? Oh, I thought I'd return to my seat, seeing as I had already answered the question. This isn't some small town hall debate, so you just stay right there until I say we're through. Oh, I'll have to run that by my campaign manager before.
Objection!
Mr. Ashton Wimperson, I think it's time for you to come clean. Huh? So then, does this mean he didn't see Mr. Audible? As your lawyer, Mr. Ashton Wimperson, I advise you divulge that matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option. Aren't you sure about this? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let any strange rumors get out. Don't worry, you won't suffer any blowback for what you're about to reveal. Blowback? I'm not sure if I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright. Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing untoward will come of this, I promise. Now then, Mr. Justice. Remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death? Come to think of it, Emma, who was the first one to discover the body? About that. Whoever it was, it seems they wanted to remain anonymous. What? It happens now and then. Some people would rather not get involved with the police. Wait, you're not saying that... Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was my client, Mr. Paul Ashton Wimperson. What? You don't say. So, you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen, quite admirably, if I may say so. Isn't that right? Yes, indeed. In our society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous action. But I don't number among them. That's why I did my duty as a concerned citizen. One might call me the model citizen. One worthy of standing above the rest. What a real standard bearer he is, reporting it anonymously. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Justice, wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body? You mean Mr. Audible? He would have been leaving the doctor's house right around then. Wait, that means... Yes, it does. In short, what my client witnessed was Mr. Audible fleeing the scene of a heinous murder. And that's not all. Based on what we've learned so far, Mr. Audible looked exceedingly suspicious, and that's putting it mildly. We already know the defiant dragons threatened the doctor with bodily harm. Now that they've killed him, the so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void. Aha! Apollo, if we don't come up with some sort of counter-argument, and what sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Audible who killed the doctor? That move had desperate written all over it. It's all I got, so I'm going with it. Evidence? I suppose it's true that I don't have any. I knew it. But I do have another witness. You do? You should know I always come fully prepared, Mr. Justice. And my new witness will provide testimony proving Mr. Audible's guilt. A new witness? I wonder who it could be. Very well, bailiff, please summon our new witness. In the meantime, the court will take a brief recess. I would like both sides to use this time to prepare properly. Understood? May 17th, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Well, I knew Mr. Wright would put up a tough fight, but... yeah, just when I thought we had him, he turned the tables on us. He really is the turnabout terror. We can't let him blindside us again. Looks like they got me again. 3 times in 1 year! That's a new record. Tots, please, no more new records or bad puns while you're at it. It's hard enough trying to help you as it is. Roger that. I'll be more careful next time. That is what Mr. Wright said true. Did you really pay a visit to Dr. Buff that night? Sure did. Can't remember the exact time, though. All I know is he wouldn't hand over the orb. Someone put it in his head that we rebels were dangerous. That's why he threw me out. So the doctor was still alive when Dots last saw him. We'll still have to prove it, though. I'm gonna brace yourself, son. The next witness testimony could make or break this case. Yeah, I know. Hey, where's Trucy? She went to go see your dad. Maybe she's still mad. More like worried. Worried that this trial will create a rift between you two. And that you might then leave the agency. She has an active imagination. Excuse me, trial will be resuming shortly. Well, let's go see what new testimony awaits us. May 17th, District Court, Courtroom number 6. Whoops. Alright, court is back in session. Mr. Wright, you said you had a witness. Your Honor, I would like to call the lone survivor of the doctor's murder to the stand. Wait, he can't mean that Sarge is here? You mean Dr. Buff's reclusive son? How did you get him to cooperate? Nothing a little persuasion couldn't handle. The poor child only agreed to help if it meant catching the killer. Getting a kid like that to overcome his fear, now that's impressive. This must be really important testimony for the kid to come out in public like this. He's probably hidden away in some other room and will just be using his helicopter thing. Very well, Mr. Wright, please call your witness to the stand. Aye. Sergeant Buff at your service, sir. Here's the drone. Really? Mr. Wright, what exactly is the meaning of this? Past trauma has rendered it impossible for the witness to venture into public. Leaving home was hard enough, and it seems leaving the witness lobby was just too much. But I would still like to continue with testimony delivered via this drone. I understand it must be terrible to lose one's father like that. But testimony via a remote-controlled toy? Well, let's take things for a spin and see how it goes. Just who's piloting this trial anyway? The judge sure warmed up to the idea fast. I think the phrase you're looking for is gave up. You disappoint me, Corporal Justice. To think something I missed it. Don't do that. I think the man who killed Papa. That's full-on treason, soldier. I don't think Ellen's going to cover. I hereby demote you back to private. Corporal? Private? What's he talking about, Apollo? It's a long story. Now then, are you ready to testify, youngster? Locked and loaded, sir, ready to rain lead down upon the perpetrator. I don't think that's what you should be doing. What happened that evening? Papa met with someone the night he died. I didn't have eyes on the ground as I'd already mounted my siege defense, but I did hear him arguing with someone in his study. From my window, I saw the undesignated dots getting ejected from the premises. After that, the men lingered around the perimeter for some time. He must have regrouped and killed my papa in the study later. I just know it. So he was thrown out, but later returned and committed the murder, did he? Yes, Your Honor. So the man my client saw really must have been the fleeing Mr. Audible. Objection! Right, you backstabbing, no good. I didn't kill no one. It's the enemy. Ready all missiles and fire! They made their voices a bit sad. Whoa. Why do you have those? Capitalist pig! I'll turn you into pork stroganoff. That's just a taste of my ultimate anti-swine weapon. Oh, it fires missiles too. Yes, well, the witness is all yours, Mr. Justice. No comments on that. Papa met with someone the night he died.
Hold it!
Your father met with someone. Could you be more specific? No, I was in the midst of a crucial defensive siege operation. Right. You're referring to how you don't leave your room, correct? You never know where the enemy might be lurking outside the siege perimeter. What about, school? Oh, I don't go to boot camp. I'm a soldier. A sergeant doesn't associate with rookies still too green to fight. A kid like this, I bet Dr. Buff won't be getting any rest in the afterlife either. It was very brave of you to come to the courthouse today. But what was that you said about a siege defense? Oh, well. I didn't have eyes on the ground, as I'd already mounted my siege defense, but...
Hold it!
Sarge, I've always wondered... Who or what are you battling? That's classified. Even so, it may be relevant to this case.
Objection!
I don't know if you're the right person to be asking about things like that. That's right. Such matters need to be handled with a certain delicacy. Oh, I guess the curiosity got the better about me. You're all talk and no action, soldier. Out on the battlefield, it ain't the number of pretty words in your repertoire, or the number of bullets in your gun belt that counts. Easy for you to say. You're the one with all of them. Would witness please tell this court what he heard and saw, what he saw and heard that night? I did hear him arguing with someone in his study.
Hold it!
What was the argument about?
I heard things like, where's the orb, and argued flying dragons really criminals. Sounded real volatile, like a war might break out at any second.
So the two of them had an argument when Dots came to get the orb. Did you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, I heard them arguing, and then silence. From my window, I saw the one designated Dots getting ejected from the premises.
Hold it!
How was Mr. Audible acting?
Like a conquered trooper retreating with his tail between his legs.
A trooper? Well, I guess he does dress like he's in the military. I bet those two would have really hit it off had they met under different circumstances. Yeah, I can see that.
And so the defeated soldier was expelled, but that wasn't the end. After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time.
Hold it!
That does seem suspicious.
He kept hiding behind trees and telephone poles and stealing glances at our house.
Well, he couldn't exactly leave without the orb.
But he was angry that he'd been kicked out.
About what time was any of this happening? I'd like information on that.
He must have regrouped and killed my papa in the study later. I just know it.
Zuko, do not scratch my chair.
Hold it!
But don't you keep your front door unlocked? If so, then anyone could have got in.
That's true. Papa didn't keep our house locked up. He said there was no need because there were only good people in Kadine Village.
Yet, he ended up dead anyway.
Only a monster could do what they did to my kind, trusting papa. There will be no mercy. I vow swift and terrible vengeance. I'll carpet bomb the killer with everything in my arsenal. Fire!
Don't do that. I like doing things. While I sympathize with you, witness, you will refrain from firing Gatling guns in this court. So, Sarge saw Dots too. And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse. I wonder why he hung around after being thrown out. I hate to say this, but if Dots was proven to be the killer, we'll lose the orb to the plaintiff. So our only option is to prove that Defiant Dragons had nothing to do with the murder. Let's see.
sure what I'm doing here. What am I looking for? Where's your window? I have information on that. It's just upstairs somewhere. You get moss inside your shoe anyway. That's not relevant, but... Seen and rejected. He lingered around the perimeter for some time. What time was any of this happening? That would be helpful information. Study, that's this main area here. Camera and microphone? That's not helpful. Glasses at his desk. What am I looking for? Arguing about... Why did he hang around after being thrown out? I just say it, but he's proven a killer. We'll use the orb to the plaintiff. Around the perimeter for some time.
Hold it!
What am I missing here? Oh, what are you doing? Zuko, are you being a problem? Are you all upset because I haven't given you breakfast yet? You don't get breakfast for like 45 minutes. You're going to have to chill. It seems suspicious. Even trees and telephone poles. Can't exactly leave without the orb. What am I missing here? I'm not sure I see anything to really say anything about.
Hold it!
How was he acting? Upset. Hmm.
Hold it!
What am I missing here? How do you keep the door unlocked? Hmm. Right. No, you can chill. You don't need to do that. Things can get worse. Why he hung around after being thrown out? Maybe. I want a reason. Maybe.
Objection!
Not that. I have no idea what I'm looking for here. Hid it in the ruins. Would that be helpful? You left, they argued, you didn't see anything.
Objection!
That doesn't help. You know, nothing contradicts with that. Thought I could bring just a new concept. I'm not sure anything contradicts with anything the guy's saying. I mean, there's that, but like, that's not... I don't necessarily have anything to argue with that as a concept. Having some time would help.
Objection!
What am I missing here? Do I need a reason he would have hung around, or... You okay, princess?
Objection!
No. Because it's pointing out this statement in the after fact thing. So it's probably related to that. But like, it's not helpful. When did he hide that over, by the way? When did he do that? Need a timeline here. know that there's any arguing that he would have been out around the area. There's not really any way to argue with that. So regrouped, put him in the study later. Cool. What am I missing here? Let's report on some research into Founder's Orb. Back in the pen. Looks sustained with coffee. Coffee.
Objection!
That doesn't sound super promising. Something off about that statement. We call it a coffee bar over there. Could we?
Objection!
I don't know how much calling into question the location of his actual death would help. Around the perimeter. What am I missing here? Okay, what do we need? Helping. Poor eyesight meant he couldn't read anything about these. He found it in his desk. Doesn't help. Wore this last night. There's a distinctive yellow and green two-tone sign. Probably got there when he went to hide the Founder's Orb. When did he do that? What time did anything happen? I'm losing my mind. What do I need here?
Objection!
Okay. What if we throw everything at it until something functions? Let's try the one that was indicated specifically as suspicious.
Objection!
It's not that. This isn't going to be helpful now. What am I missing here? I just don't see what is happening. Like at all. I don't think moss is going to help anything. Honestly, none of these do seem like they're going to help anything.
Objection!
Probably overgrown. It'd be a weird thing. you listen really carefully. Yeah, but that's not helping.
Objection!
Yes. Something. Oops, that's not what I want.
Objection!
We've been seeing. Nope. What am I missing here? I just don't know what the issue is to even start with. Look at this
Objection!
photograph. What is happening? That's not going to help anything.
Objection!
What am I missing here?
Objection!
Orb. I skipped a couple objects, but that's because they didn't seem relevant. This one.
Objection!
What am I missing? Olifa, help me. I pressed all the statements. Right. I'm quite certain I did.
Objection!
What am I missing? Please do not sneeze on my cup. I'm going to lose my mind.
Objection!
The worm isn't there. It was in the cave. When did it get there? Must have been before he died. What was the timing? I don't have information on that. As far as I can tell. That's not relevant. He's got something around his neck. Can't quite tell what it is. Might just be decorative. Got a watch on.
Objection!
Yes. What am I missing here? I'm losing my mind. You think they'd had that hint system that popped up when I messed up too much at one point? I wonder if I should allow that to function. Maybe I should use.
Objection!
Look at this email. Yes, take a look at this piece of evidence. Just see if it'll help. Looking, but what am I supposed to see? Oh, as your boss and mentor, here's a bit of advice. Never present evidence before you have a good grasp of the situation at hand.
Right, sorry.
And as the presiding judge, here's a penalty.
Ouch. Double team for just doing what Mr. Wright always does anyway.
What am I missing here? What am I missing?
Hold it!
Sad. Look at this boat.
Objection!
I'm going to reload after this. I'm losing my mind. What is happening?
I have about 5 minutes to figure out the answer to that.
I have to figure out before he presents his evidence, yes.
Sounds like a plan. Please help me.
Is it just me, or does that statement sound a bit dubious?
You know what? You're right. Thanks, Athena.
Anytime.
Now to take another look at the evidence.
What statement are you talking about?
This one.
Okay, well that's not remotely what I was thinking about. Let's just reload so I don't have all my health gone. In that case, it might be your drone. I just figured you needed to set it and charge it or something.
Objection!
Sarge, are you hiding something from me?
How dare you question your superior officer like that? You want to get in on a strong-enough action with Pig Boy over there, soldier.
Sorry, but I'm afraid lawyers are missile-proof.
What? Will the defense care to explain?
It's simple, Your Honor. Just as he's able to see what's happening in court right now, Sarge was able to see what was happening in the study then. With his cherished drone, of course.
Now that you mention it, I think the answer was right before our eyes this whole time.
Sarge, you were perfectly capable of patrolling the study that night. So you must have seen something.
I'm hit. What is the strange weaponry you're using against me?
Courtroom warriors don't use guns or missiles because evidence is our weapon of choice. And the evidence has exposed your bald-faced lie. My truth bomb, Sarge, has stripped your defenses bare.
Truth bomb. No! Mayday, I'm going down. Okay, bye. Oh my, are you alright? Evidence. Never have I seen such fearsome ordnance.
Tell it to us straight, Sarge. After all, you want to help your father, don't you?
Papa.
Yes, you want to find out who killed him, don't you? So please, tell us what you saw that night.
It's not what you think. I didn't see anything. I swear.
You sure? You seem awfully stressed for someone who didn't see anything. Sarge, you need to answer my question.
Shut your pie hole, maggot! It'll be a scorching day in Siberia before a lowly private like you orders me around.
What's with him in Siberia, of all places? But if a scorching day is what it'll take, maybe it's time to turn up the heat. Hey, Athena. Do you think a therapy session might help? Well, it could help alleviate some of his anxiety. Plus, I'm picking up on a lot of discord in Sarge's voice. That usually means the patient wants to say something but can't for some reason. And in Sarge's case, I imagine whatever's plaguing him is pretty severe. In that case, I leave it to you and your mood matrix magic. You've got it. Your Honor, I believe I can be of help here.
Time for a therapy session, is it, Miss Sykes?
Yes, it will help the witness with his anxiety, maybe even enough to testify.
Then, by all means, please bring the poor child out into the light of day. Oh, but I assume this will be all right with you, Mr. Wright? Why not? It's not like we haven't been through this before.
What are you putting in for, lady? There ain't a place on this battlefield for you.
Objection!
I beg to differ, Sarge. Miss G.I. Jane's always ready for a fight in the courtroom. And wait until you see what I've got in my arsenal. Analytical psychology. With it, I'm going to blow a big old hole in the armor you've built around your heart. Oh! First evidence, now analytical psychology. Where are these WMDs coming from? But well, if it's a battle you want, bring it on. You may have started this war, but I'm going to end it. Corpse woman Sykes. You've got it, Sarge. Time to seek out the agony buried deep in your heart. Brace yourself.
I stayed in my room with my drone that evening. I heard Dots and Papa arguing with each other. Dots got kicked out, but I saw him still hanging around outside. I was in my room, so I didn't know Papa was dead until the next day.
So I'm looking for unexpected emotions and unnatural reactions, right? Right, emotions and reactions that don't fit the content of his testimony. When you find one, make sure you point it out to me. Also, remember not to view his emotional reactions in isolation. Sometimes it's important to see how they change from one statement to the next. Okay, I'll give it a try.
My drone. Generally anxious. Just there. Heard them arguing with each other, shocked, more upset, sad, scared, whatever it is. More shocked and scared when he's just outside. Very sad, but less shocked here.
Got it!
That's strange. You reacted with shock when you discovered your father's body. Yet, you weren't nearly as shocked then as when you saw Mr. Audible. Normally, you would expect the death of one's father to be much more impactful.
Enemy fire! Direct hit!
That is strange. I wonder what it could mean. Well, we know he wasn't as affected by his father's death as he should have been. And I think I know why. Oh? Sarge, you weren't as shocked at seeing your father's body as seeing Mr. Audible because... Sarge, maybe the truth is you left your room that night. And that's when you saw it, your father's body.
I saw no such thing!
Really? You didn't see his body? Alright then, what did you see? Look, Apollo, we've lost some noise. So, just as I suspected, he really did see something. Sarge, please, tell us what you saw.
Oh, but the moment I saw it, oh, I couldn't bear it. I couldn't stand to lose yet another loved one.
Uh-huh. Am I missing something here? Is that why you weren't very shocked when you found out your father was dead? Because you had already sensed he was a goner somehow.
Maybe.
Please, Sarge, what was it you saw on the night of your father's murder?
Oh, I saw.
Oh. You, what's happening? I don't like this, where this is going.
Or no more, please.
Okay, you're leaving. Elf. Hey. Give that back.
Rude. I've confiscated your little toy. The battlefield has no place for unauthorized equipment.
But Widget! Apollo, I can't get to do the session without him.
That's not allowed. Calm yourself this instant, witness. I hereby order you to submit to your therapy session. What in blazes? Look at me. I'm judge, jury, and executioner now. I hereby convene a military tribunal.
Are you not?
Bailiff, go do something. How about someone head into the witness room or whatever and just go grab his controller and stop doing this.
Oh, whoa, this has gone way too far.
Bailiff, arrest that drone this instant. Stop resisting. Yeah. If you don't come quietly, I'll fire. Alright.
Put it back right here.
A lot of noise.
Finally got him back. Nice work.
This witness is truly a handful. 2, 3, 4. Miss Sykes, what's the witness's current psychological state?
Let's see. He's emotionally all over the map. So his out of control emotions are in control of him, huh? Does that mean we can calm him down if we can figure out the root cause?
Yes, so let's see what we can find. Sarge, can you hear me? Is that you, corpse woman Sykes? I'm here. Now, I want you to take a few deep breaths. Just try to relax. Try it with me. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. In, out, in, out. And now, let your emotions take you where they will. Go on, just let it all out. Forces attack.
That's the least relaxing breathing exercise I've ever seen.
was still hanging around after he got kicked out when there was more fighting, and I got worried about Papa. Fighting after he was kicked out. So I left my room, but suddenly got dizzy and passed out. I remember a flame lighting up in the room. Papa grinning with delight. That's when he must have been killed, if only I hadn't passed out.
So he has two out-of-control emotions, huh? And all we have to do is find out what's causing them to run wild like this. Yes, whatever the cause, it should appear somewhere in the mood matrix. Let me know if you think you found it. Ugh, easier said than done. I don't suppose you have any ideas where to start. Well, I would think about Sarge's personality and his past. Those are the things that shape a person's emotions. You should be able to find something to work with from there.
Got it!
That's it! Sarge, you were overcome with shock and fear when you saw those flames, weren't you?
Was I?
Yes, just 6 months ago, you and your mother were caught up in an arsonist's blaze. So it's no wonder you would be extremely scared of fire.
Yes, that does make sense.
And maybe, just maybe, your subconscious fear of fire was what caused you to withdraw from the world.
What do you mean, Corpse One Sykes?
In the outside world, you were bound to come across all sorts of fire. Candles, cigarettes, heck, even the gorilla at a diner.
I don't think I've seen anything with fire in a while. We don't really use candles here.
Even if it's not that often, just the idea that you might see them grew bigger and bigger until you couldn't shut it out.
I think you might be onto something. Candles, cigarettes, just thinking about them sends a chill down my spine.
Well, the things I take for granted.
Now I see. I was afraid. Afraid of the fire. Strange, I didn't even realize it myself.
About that fire, Sarge, can you tell me what it was burning? Just stay calm, and maybe something will come to you.
Oh, Oh! I'm starting to remember. It was... It was that relic. That relic Papa was studying. It was on fire.
The orb was on fire.
It's still kind of fuzzy. But yes, the orb was burning right in front of Papa. And there, in the flames, was Mama. Yes, now I remember. I saw Mama appear amid the dancing flames.
Wait, what?
I guess it's a spirit thing, so that's not entirely out of the question.
What's going on here? Maybe it's a memory from the fire that killed his mother. He might be confusing it with what really happened when his father died. So let me guess. More therapy? Yep. But this time, it seems there's an inconsistency in his statements. And I think we should be able to prove it with the evidence at hand. I hope this inconsistency is the key. Proving the relic really is the Founder's Orb. Is the fact that it should have been hidden away by that point? I was still hanging around after it got kicked out when I heard more fighting, and I got worried about Papa. I left my room, but suddenly I got dizzy and passed out. I remember a flame lighting up the room, Papa grinning with delight. The relic was on fire, and I saw Mama's face inside. That's when Papa must have been killed, if only I hadn't passed out. I think I should be able to do this.
Objection!
Don't blame yourself, Sarge. After all, even if you hadn't passed out, the outcome would have been the same.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the time of death. Your father wasn't killed right after you left your room.
What? Explain yourself at once, Private Justice.
You said you saw your father burning the orb, right? But that night, he went out to hide it in a cave. So, what you saw, Sarge, was something that happened before your father left to hide the orb.
Ah,
You see, you didn't pass out right before he was killed. You passed out right before he left for the cave to hide the orb in the ruins within.
so even if I hadn't passed out,
That's right. The outcome would have been exactly the same. That's because your father, Dr. Buff, was killed after he returned from the ruins. And therefore, Sarge, there's no need for you to blame yourself.
oh, I see. Private Justice, can you really say I bear no blame in this?
Why do you ask?
Because the truth is, if I hadn't engaged in my siege defense, Papa would still be alive.
Sarge,
Papa wished nothing more than for me to lead a happy, healthy life. That's why he quit his job and moved us out away from the big city. But even then, I didn't have the courage to set foot into the outside world. And in the end, I failed to make Papa's wish come true. Sarge? Who's this?
oh, you.
Sarge, if you want to make your father's wish come true, if that's what you really want, and who's to say it's too late? Why don't you take the first step now? My first step? That's right. You can cast off all your regret. You can stop standing still and start moving forward. You have the power within you. I know from experience. I know what it's like to feel like you do. I know what it's like to feel like you do. But only you can decide to take that first step.
If you don't change your tactics now, Sarge, the victory you seek in the war you're waging will always lie beyond your grasp.
I think I understand now. I've made up my mind. As of this moment, I will suspend my siege defense indefinitely. You're gonna come out and your voice is going to be not remotely similar to your face, I think. You're very small. I don't know if you can be boosted up to be more visible with that.
Sergeant Buff, reporting for duty.
I'll just assume there was like a voice changer on that thing or something. That's not unreasonable.
What? I thought you were a guy. You're definitely not the gruff drill sergeant I envisioned.
Okay, well now the cat food alarm's going off. I'll deal with that later.
Well, my mama was in the Russian army.
I was just as shocked, but it certainly explained a few things when I found out too. May I introduce you, Miss Army Buff? May I introduce to you, Miss Army Buff, age 12.
No way. Careful, soldier. Don't forget that I could blow you away at a moment's notice. She's just so cute. So, have you always been in a wheelchair, Sarge? Negative. Only since I was injured in the fire.
Your voice sounds awfully different from before.
My drone features a voice modulation device. It's just one of my army's many technological marvels.
Well, you fooled me. I thought some 20-something military fanatic was at the controls.
If it's all the same to you, troops, I'd like to continue my testimony. I've just remembered something, and it's as crisp and clear as a trumpet at roll call. What did you remember? It wasn't my mother who appeared in the burning orb. It was some lady Papa had shown me a picture of a long time ago. He said it was the Holy Mother, the founder of Kodaianism. She appeared right there, right in the burning orb.
What did you just say? Well, that's good for our side. The Holy Mother of Kodaianism was in the burning orb. What does that even mean? I have a bad feeling about this.
Could it be? Could this explain what Sarge means by the Holy Mother appearing in the burning orb?
Offer thy prayers as fervent as fire.
Take that!
Dr. Buff's research notes. What do they have to do with this?
Look at this. The burning orb. The appearance of the founder. This part points to both.
Take that!
There's a legend about the orb involving a mysterious riddle. And this song, in turn, is said to contain the key to solving it. If the legend is true, then I believe the answer lies in this part of the song. Offer thy prayers as fervent as fire. Only then shall the Holy Mother return. Well, anyone see where I'm going with this?
Prayers as fervent as fire. Oh! You're supposed to set the orb on fire.
The whole stanza seems to just suggest that the founder will appear if the orb is set on fire. Wait, so the doctor, he... Yes, Athena. He had solved the ancient riddle of the founder's orb.
Oh my!
Papa was a great archaeologist. So I believe in him. And I want to believe he achieved his long-time dream of solving that riddle before he died. Well, we won't know for sure until we try it for ourselves. Yes, do it, Private Justice, please. I want to see what Papa was searching for with my own eyes.
Objection!
The plaintiff must object to this.
Objection!
The plaintiff will stand down and be quiet.
Objection!
You don't have the right to set a precious relic like that on fire.
Objection!
Oh, but I do. All I needed was Sarge's permission. Since we still don't know if this treasure is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Ami Faye, any ownership rights the Doctor had now belong to his daughter. Therefore, you have absolutely no right to stop us.
Very well, Mr. Justice. I never thought I'd be saying this, but you may burn the evidence.
Alright, here we go.
Gotta bring in something to do that with. Oh, you just have a lighter. Ooh, you look weird. I guess that works. It's doing something.
Look, look. Apollo, the inside of the orb, it's melting. There's something in there. She has a whole face and everything. Aha! Dark, isn't she?
God leaves no room for doubt. It's the Founder herself. Face and all. I don't understand. The greatest of taboos in Kodainism is the depiction of the Founder's face. Yet here it is, hidden within this orb. Founder's Orb updated in the court record. Heating the Founder's Orb revealed the statue within.
Sorry, Mr. Wright, but as you can see, the issue is crystal clear. This figure is the Holy Mother, founder of Kodainism. And based on that, this must be none other than the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
But be that as it may, Mr. Audible may still have killed the Doctor. If so, it would render the orb transfer agreement null and void.
Don't play dumb, Mr. Wright. The truth of the matter has already been proven. Dr. Buff wasn't killed right after Sarge saw Mr. Audible. It happened after the Doctor came back from hiding the orb. And you've no proof that Mr. Audible was still around at that time. Your claim that the Defiant Dragons were behind the crime doesn't hold water. And that means the orb transfer agreement is still perfectly valid. Admit it, Mr. Wright. I just burned your whole case to the ground.
No!
I actually won.
Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Respond?
I didn't think so.
Wait, did we just win? Did we actually beat the Turnabout Terror?
You're amazing, Apollo.
Don't just stand there, Wright. Do something. Well, I don't think there's any digging out of this hole.
Mr. Ashton Wimperson, I think it's time for your concession speech. I've proven beyond a shadow of doubt that this is the Founder's Orb. Facts don't lie, but you obviously do. How's that for a campaign slogan?
Why, you contemptuous peasant. I think this is a good time to wrap up this trial. If both parties have no further objections, I will render my verdict.
No objections here, Your Honor.
No. No, you can't do this. The crystal is mine. I'll lose the election if I lose that crystal. I'm sorry, but there's really nothing more I can do. You haven't forgotten about our little chat, have you?
What are you doing? What's going on here?
Objection!
Your Honor, I object to the defense's last claim.
What?
I don't believe they have truly proven that the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, I don't think even you could bluff your way out of this one. What possible argument could you have to claim this isn't the Founder's Orb?
About that? Oh, of course.
He can't possibly have done something.
The defense's assertion is incomplete, and this is why. Their claim that this relic is the Founder's Orb is based on a legend. And that legend claims that the Founder will return when the riddle is solved at last.
Right? And that's what happened. The Founder was revealed for all to see.
But Mr. Justice, what about the rest of the legend?
Huh?
According to the legend, once the Founder returned, she would bestow spiritual power onto the person who solved the riddle.
You're kidding, right?
Well, Mr. Justice, do you feel great spiritual power coursing through your veins?
No. But receiving spiritual powers and stuff, it's all just mystic mumbo-jumbo, right?
Maybe so, but you're the one basing your claim on said legend. And what we saw here does not fully fulfill it, does it?
No, but...
And consequently, you cannot rightfully claim that this is the Founder's Orb.
What's gotten into him? Why is Mr. Wright doing this?
It would appear that Mr. Wright has lost a few of his marbles. Then that couldn't be further from the truth, Your Honor. In any case, I believe this is a good time for a recess. Both sides will have 20 minutes to prepare. I ask that all arguments be ready by then. Oh, and Mr. Wright, you do well to wash up and find your missing marbles by then, too. Sounds like that guy's blackmailing him. In what way is unclear. May 17th, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Mr. Wright is sure acting funny. I mean, he's famous for going out on a limb, but that last assertion was just plain crazy. It's either a bluff or a Hail Mary. Either way, it doesn't make much sense. Maybe there's something we're missing here. Although, he seemed perfectly normal when we spoke earlier.
Apollo, I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, that's right. You go. I will feed you. Give me just a minute.
I'm going to go check up on him.
What's going on with you, Mr. Wright? Hey, Private Justice. Oh, Sarge. I forgot to mention something. On the night of Papa's murder, a strange thing happened. Oh, but why are you only telling me about it now? Well, I didn't see anything before because I thought Papa's death was an accident. But now that we know otherwise, I figured it might be important. There's still more to this case. When I left my room and lost consciousness, I passed out right here.
Can you just, like, not even get down to the study at all? It seems like poor planning. Oh wait, there's an elevator there. I think is what that says. So I guess that's fine.
That's right above the coffee bar. But when I came to, someone was pushing my wheelchair. What the? I was so scared I made a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me.
Do you know who it was?
No, it was pitch black. Plus, I fled to my room so fast I didn't even have a chance to turn on the lights.
Which way were they taking you?
Maybe it was your father. Oh, he would have said something to me. Besides, I'd have known if it was him.
So then it could have been
Your father's real killer. My thoughts exactly.
But you didn't report this to the police.
It didn't even occur to me.
It's okay. You were obviously still upset, so don't beat yourself up over it. Apollo, this could be really important information. I think the act of pushing Sarda's wheelchair could be part of some bigger scheme. It's hard to see why else the killer would have done such a thing. Guess I should take your statement down as evidence. Army's statement added to the court record. She fled to her room when she realized someone had moved her while she'd been unconscious on the second floor.
Oh, welcome back, Athena. What's with the long face? How'd it go with Mr. Wright?
What should I...
Athena?
Oops, sorry, zoned out there for a sec. The recess is almost over, so let's go.
What was that all about?
Not gonna pop up a save prompt. That's fine. I will be right back. I need to feed the cats. The cats we fed. Reheat my heating pad. I'm a bit cold. More water. And then I shall return. And we'll get back into the trial. Wow. Well, I don't know, but I can't be wrong. It doesn't matter what happens. I will never give up the fight. Long as the voice inside drives me to run and fight. Place all your bets on the one you think is right. Alright. I have returned. And oh, honey paw, please do not click on things. Stepping on my mouse. Alright. Let's get back into it. Alright. May 17th, District Court, Courtroom number 6. Alright, court is once again back in session. Now, Mr. Wright, about that last objection you raised. We, the plaintiffs, still believe that the defense has yet to sufficiently prove its case. They claim that, according to legend, the Founder's Orb would bestow spiritual power. Yet, the relic in question has failed to do so. Therefore, it has failed its own test. I see. He's sticking with that ridiculous argument. Furthermore, even if it is the Founder's Orb, it can't be awarded to the Defiant Dragons. After all, they were the ones who killed Dr. Buff.
Objection!
What are you talking about? That was already proven to be false. There are no grounds for asserting that the Defiant Dragons murdered the Doctor.
Oh, but I'm afraid there are, Mr. Justice. Your Honor, I would like to present new testimony to this court. Testimony that will show that Dot's Audible did in fact kill Dr. Buff.
What?
Very well, you may call your witness.
I guess Mr. Wright found another new angle. What new testimony could there be this late in the game?
You're still here. Fellow citizens, it is I, Paul Adson, the once and future representative of the people.
Jeez, not him again.
My client divulged new information to me during the recess. He remembered something he saw, you see. Something crucial to this case.
How very convenient. Ah, shoo.
That's his crime.
Okay. What's that? Why are there always... whatever.
It was around 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village. That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. Audible snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice, a suitcase. Big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase onto someone's head.
I mean... you saw the murder as it happened. And you're just telling us now because...
I saved the best for last. It's a tactic known to all the political greats. The murder weapon was a complete mystery, but my client's eyewitness account has finally brought it into the light. According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck in the head by the corner of some object. I suppose that could very well be the corner of a suitcase.
Objection!
that thing is unliftable. But eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you.
What's that supposed to mean?
We have physical evidence too. A luminol test revealed... The doctor's blood on Mr. Audible's suitcase.
Really? But how does that prove Mr. Audible used it as a weapon?
Objection!
You should know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. Since you know as well as I that the suitcase is covered in his fingerprints.
Ah, I forgot we dusted it right in front of Emma.
I mean, it's his suitcase. Why wouldn't it be covered in his fingerprints? That doesn't prove that no one else touched it.
Turnabout terror strikes again.
This is quite convincing testimony and evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice. It was around 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village.
Hold it!
You were on a so-called mobile meet and greet at 11 at night.
That's right. That's the perfect time because everyone is at home. You should have seen how the villagers' eyes teared up when they heard what I had to say.
Tears of frustration, no doubt. You weren't riding around in your palanquin.
That's right. Some village idiot reported me to the police. I've been banned from using it after dark.
No wonder, with all the noise he makes. So what exactly did you see then?
That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window.
Hold it!
Sounds like you witnessed something rather shocking.
Indeed, I didn't even believe it at first. I mean, a vicious murder. Could I?
There haven't been many murders there, I take it.
If I'm elected, I promise you that such a terrible tragedy will never happen again. A vote for me is a vote to banish murder forever from our beloved Kudine village.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Mr. Atchison Wimberson, please tell the court what you saw at the scene of the crime. Maybe I should. Mr. Otterball snuck up from behind and struck him on the head.
Hold it!
He snuck up from behind. So you're saying the doctor never even realized Mr. Otterball was there?
That's right, he was utterly absorbed in a book.
I see. What did you see Mr. Otterball do next?
He climbed up the bookshelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books down on the body. I believe he was trying to make it look like an accident. But that idiot didn't realize I could see everything from outside the window.
I swear, there's one fly just flying around. Very determined to bother me. If I can... Okay, that didn't help. One of those statements doesn't feel right. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement right just now about how the doctor was reading a book.
That's an idiot. Very helpful.
The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder. That's vital testimony.
Very well, the witness will please add that statement to his testimony.
So we got those glasses.
The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book.
Hold it!
He watched a murderer commit his crime and did nothing to stop it. That doesn't sound like a good way to score points with the voting public.
I am a politician, not a superhero. I'm under no obligation to risk life and limb.
He sure is quick to deny his obligations when there's nothing in it for him. I'm getting tired of listening to his endless campaigning and flimsy rationalizations.
About your testimony, Mr. Ashton Wimperson. You said Mr. Audubon struck the doctor from behind while he was absorbed in a book.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
His weapon of choice, a suitcase.
Hold it!
Are you sure?
Positive. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Yet, despite your certainty, you kept quiet about it until now.
No, I was waiting. I knew there would be a perfect chance to talk about it later. Information must always be disclosed in a strategic manner. That is one of the lessons of kingcraft as taught by the Addison clan.
Is there a lesson by chance in the Action Kingcraft guidebook on being honest?
Anyway, I saw Mr. Otterball commit to that heinous crime. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase onto someone's head.
Hold it!
I would have to agree that the suitcase is really heavy. Wait a second. How did you know it was so heavy? For all you knew, it could have been empty.
Objection!
My client witnessed the crime in progress, so naturally he saw Mr. Audubon straining to lift what was obviously a heavy suitcase. I can't say I'm a fan of you trying to discredit my client by tripping him up, Mr. Justice.
I'm just doing what you always do, Mr. Wright.
Dr. Buff was struck from behind while he was absorbed in a book. He must have been really into it.
Doesn't add up.
What doesn't?
Paul Action is lying. I'm sure of it.
Incorrect. Look at these glasses.
Objection!
The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book, you say. I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable.
That's quite a bold statement. Well, let's hear you back it up. I challenge you to prove that I'm anything but 100% reliable.
It would be my pleasure. Lately, it seems the doctor's eyes had gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves. Sorry, Mr. Ashton Wimperson, but I'm going to have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. You what?
I'll explain it, you lowly cur. I simply made a mistake, you see. The doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. Audubon hit him over the head.
But then the doctor would have been facing him. Surely he would have seen him and tried to run.
Dr. Buff was nodding off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving.
Sounds more like what you would do. And how do you explain the fact that he was struck in the back of the head? Isn't that something that should be impossible from the front of the desk?
Oh, about that. He bowed his head when he nodded off. That's where he was that's when he was clobbered.
So that's what you saw.
Well, Mr. Justice, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation to me. Do you have a problem with the proposal that the doctor was struck while nodding off? You do. There's a bookshelf in the way. You can't see it from the window.
There is a problem. A very big problem. The witness's statement doesn't hold up under the slightest bit of scrutiny.
That's so, then will you please show this court what evidence you have to justify this?
Gladly, Your Honor. This shows the problem with the witness's claim that he saw the doctor nodding off.
Take that!
Diagram of the study.
Mr. Ashton Wimperson allegedly viewed the murder from here. and the doctor was allegedly nodding off here. But from his vantage point, the bookcase would have blocked the witness's line of sight.
Yes, I believe you're right. But oh,
Objection!
fact remains my client knew that the suitcase was the murder weapon. So he definitely has first-hand knowledge of the crime scene. First-hand is exactly the problem here.
I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then we have to ask ourselves, from what vantage point did he see the murder?
What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice?
From what vantage point could Mr. Ashton Wimperson have seen the dosing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we'll finally see the truth behind this incident. The witness saw the murder from right here.
We're accusing him of murder, so it's just the middle of the room, I guess. You've got to be kidding. But nuts.
It is indeed. But everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study.
Inside the study, but that's the scene of the crime.
I know. Mr. Ashton Wimperson, the man who claims to be a witness to the murder, was most certainly in that very room.
Apollo, are you suggesting?
Mr. Ashton Wimperson, weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase?
Objection!
What you're proposing is ludicrous. My client is a small, thin man, whereas Mr. Audible has the musculature to pull it off.
He has a point. I gave up trying to lift that thing after one go.
That's right. He's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy object. Now, do you understand? Rebel Dot's Audible is the doctor's killer.
As long as the suitcase is the murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on Dots. You still have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo. Oh, I will. With his own technique, no less. If Mr. Ashton Wimperson couldn't swing the suitcase around, we'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as a murder weapon instead. I'm going to turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright. Just like you taught me.
You talk big, Mr. Justice, but do you have what it takes? Well, this should be interesting.
Mr. Ashton Wimperson's testimony has been filled with one inaccuracy after another. First, he stated that Dr. Buff was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims that the doctor was sitting at his desk. So where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer? And how was the murder weapon really used? So the important thing here is the position of the victim and killer relative to each other. Yes, Your Honor. If they were positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use the suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger.
Oh, you dropped it on him, I see. You can't mean...
I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. It's quite distinctive, as you can see. Now, if Dr. Buff were sitting in a certain spot, and his killer was at a certain other spot, the suitcase would become a weapon anyone could use.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Where was Dr. Buff's killer at the time of the crime?
Up there.
Take that!
There.
Oh, that's...
This should wrap things up nice and pretty for you, Mr. Wright. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. But this time, instead of thinking in 2 dimensions, let's think in 3. Only then can we clearly see the killer's method at work. killer didn't have to swing the suitcase. If he used gravity to his advantage, that is. That's right. It was the plaintiff, one Paul Atchison Wimperson, who used the suitcase. He pushed it from the second floor and sent it hurtling down onto Dr. Buff, who was sitting at the coffee bar. The psychology book had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. The doctor must have set it down there after he'd finished reading it or the like. But his blood got on it, which is why the killer thought to hide it in that mountain of books.
Objection!
That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. Justice. But there's no evidence the murder took place at the coffee bar.
I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright. I'd say that evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar exists. There's coffee on the book. The evidence does exist. I'm going to show you.
You are.
This, right here, is proof that the murder took place at the coffee bar.
Take that!
This brown stain was determined to be coffee. What's more, it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning.
Huh.
One look at this book speaks volumes, I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. It tells us the doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurtling down, striking him on the head. Why are you drinking coffee at like 10 to 11 p.m.? Don't you need to sleep? I don't really drink coffee, so I'm not sure quite how that works, but like, caffeine is meant to make you not sleep. Causing both his blood and his coffee to spatter onto it. Well, Mr. Atchison Wimperson.
What motive could I possibly have had to kill Dr. Buff?
And there it is. That final excuse corner killers are so fond of. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Instead, he hid it in the cave ruins. Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. All it did was make him hide the orb. Your lie came back to bite you in the end. Even worse, the doctor saw the news reports, so he knew the relic was the Founder's Orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return it to its rightful place. And that meant keeping it out of your hands. You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you. But you killed him with your own hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Atchison Wimperson?
That is... Apollo! Please, don't accuse my client of murder!
What do you mean, don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright?
What I meant was, he's a promising politician with a bright future ahead of him. It's in our nation's best interest to avoid burdening him with the taint of scandal.
Say what?
Right. You'd better do something to change the current courtroom climate, or I'll be charged with murder. And you know what will happen to her if that happens. Something to Maya? Maya, we still haven't seen. She should have been back, right?
What's he talking about? Well, I can ponder that later. For now,
Everyone in the court heard that. That's very clearly a threat. Do something.
Mr. Wright, you can't possibly believe that Mr. Audible is the killer. Are you really going to send an innocent man to prison? I thought you were better than that. Well, Mr. Wright, answer me. Mr. Wright? What in the world's going on here? If you won't say anything, then... Mr. Ashton Wimperson, defense hereby... Apollo, wait!
Accuse you.
Not you too, Athena. It's just,
I wasn't sure whether I should say anything, but during that last recess, when I went to check on Mr. Wright, I overheard something I shouldn't have. I trust Maya's unharmed. I can't really say, but just remember, if I'm arrested or fail to obtain that treasure, there will be consequences. Consequences of the worst kind, if you catch my drift. Relax. All you have to do is ensure that I get my hands on that relic. I must deliver it to my benefactor at all costs. What do they want that relic for anyway? It's something to do with an old legend. My patron seeks the great power said to be granted to whoever solves its secret.
Maya, as in Maya Fey?
Yes, the boss's legendary former assistant.
Miss Fey's being held hostage.
So it seems.
Why didn't you tell me as soon as you heard this?
Sorry, it's just Mr. Wright spotted me before I could slip away, and made me promise not to tell you. He said it would make things more difficult if you found out.
As if things weren't already hard enough. So that's why Mr. Wright was acting so strange. I had no idea. This must have been excruciating for him. Thank Justice. There's got to be something you can do.
Mr. Justice, about that last statement of yours, I believe you were in the middle of accusing the plaintiff of murdering Dr. Buff. Would you care to continue?
I'm
sorry, Apollo. I'm really sorry. What's gotten into you two?
If I accuse that slime bag, I put Miss Fey's life in jeopardy.
It seems you finally caught on. I'm far too important to be accused of murder. After all, our nation's future rests squarely on my shoulders.
Either I give up or...
Once I present the crystal to my patron, my victory is assured. And one day, I'll become president, and then king. I'll have every politician at my command. Now retract your accusation.
I can't go toe to him, but the defense would like to retract the previous action. Oh, who's this?
Hi, you're still here. Apollo.
Durka,
don't know what's going on here. But a lawyer should never look the way you do right now. With defeat and resignation written all over your face.
A dragon never yields.
Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth.
Dirk. Dragon never yields. He's right. It's all over if I give up now. Mr. Wright's hands are tied. It's up to me to do what must be done. He's saved my neck so many times. Now, it's my turn to save his. Dirk, thanks for that wake-up call.
Now that's the face of a lawyer you've got there, son.
There's a will. There's a way. And I'm going to find the way to save Miss Faye and see that justice is served. That scumbag is holding Miss Faye hostage to ensure he gets the orb for his patron. And it seems that patron believes in the orb's legend. The thing is, the founder did appear when the orb was exposed to fire, just as the legend said. If the legend is true, then we've already solved the riddle, right? We seem to be missing something.
We've not solved the riddle yet.
The legend says the founder will bestow great spiritual power when she returns. If that's true, it means we haven't solved the whole riddle yet. But how can that be? Are we missing something? Wait, maybe the part about the founder returning should be taken literally. But how would it be possible for a dead person to return to the world of the living?
Founder can return through channeling.
Oh, I know! There is a way for the dead to return. Spirit channeling. Of course, you'd have to know what the founder looks like first. But the orb revealed her face to us, so what if it's a sign that we should channel her? We need a name, too. Given the facts, in order to solve the riddle and receive the founder's power, I'd need a spirit medium.
A medium is needed to obtain the power.
The ability of a medium to channel spirits is the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. That means Mr. Ashton Wimperson's patron will need one too. And once that slimy politician realizes that, he won't be able to lay a finger on Miss Faye. Everything's going to be okay, Mr. Wright. Because Mr. Paul Ashton Wimperson can't afford to harm a hair on Miss Faye's head.
Huh?
Mr. Ashton Wimperson, it seems you've chosen the wrong person to take hostage.
What do you mean?
Your patron seeks to solve the orb's riddle, and thereby receive great spiritual power. However, only Maya Fey can truly give them what they really want.
She can. What do you mean, only Maya Fey?
Think about what the return of the founder really means. We should have considered it more literally. After all, the orb was made in the kingdom of Kodain, the birthplace of spirit mediums.
Ah, I think I see now. You need to know what the deceased looks like in order to channel them. But in Koreanism, depicting the face of the founder is taboo. However, her true face was hidden in the orb. So maybe the orb is telling us to try channeling the founder.
Exactly. Through a spirit medium, the founder can quite literally return. And if the legend is true, the founder just might bestow spiritual power on someone when she does.
It's like when Pearls imbued my Magatama with spiritual power. If a human could be imbued with such power in a similar manner, it's said that the founder possesses immense spiritual power. Such a great feat would not necessarily be beyond her. But wait a second, the legend is true.
Do you understand now, Mr. Atchison Wimperson? You are holding hostage the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. And if anything were to happen to her, the riddle would remain unsolved forever.
There's always Pearl Faye. I could simply ask her to help. If she wants money, I have plenty to offer.
She's not the kind of person to be tempted by material gain. And she certainly wouldn't help you if anything were to happen to her cousin. Or maybe you'd like to go ask the Queen of Kodain to channel the founder for you.
He could, but he'd probably get executed for requesting such a thing.
It's over. Now confess. You killed Dr. Buff, didn't you?
It wasn't supposed to end this way. Mr. Atchison Wimperson, are you admitting to committing the crime? You're my lawyer, right? Do something! It's true that I'm your lawyer, and as such, it's my job to defend you. However, defending my client isn't the only duty a lawyer has. There's something else that's equally as important. And that is finding the truth. What? Mr. Atchison Wimperson, you have sought to twist the truth in the dirtiest of ways. I was complicit in your hostage-taking, but in a way, I was being held hostage too. Even so, there's still hope for me to make things right. And I owe it all to you, Apollo.
Mr. Wright.
I can't allow a murderer to walk away scot-free. Therefore, Mr. Atchison Wimperson, I must resign as your attorney. No! Does this mean I'm under arrest? No! Do you have more to say? Well, we do have evidence we haven't used yet.
Well,
I've nothing to confess.
what?
I said I've nothing to confess. I don't and I won't, especially not to a plebeian like you.
This guy doesn't know when to give up.
Besides, there's no truth to these allegations. I mean, look at the suitcase. You won't find a single print of mine on it.
All that means is you wiped them off, taking care to only leave Mr. Audible's.
As many a great politician has said before me, no comment. In that case, try switching things up, Apollo. Look at the situation from a different angle. Is there really nothing that points to the suitcase being dropped from up above?
Evidence that points to the suitcase being dropped from the second floor.
If the killer pushed the suitcase from the second floor hallway over to the coffee bar, and that would place him right around here. Maybe, just maybe. Thought of something, Apollo? I believe this piece of evidence to be connected to the dropping of the suitcase. Where we found it? On the floor over there? Or... thing of the coffee bar.
Take that!
Might be a little early. Oh, no. That appears to be a statement, but how is that related to this case? On the night of the murder, Your Honor, Miss Army Buff physically left her room. That's when she saw the doctor burning the orb and subsequently passed out. Right above the coffee bar. But with her there in her wheelchair. The killer wouldn't have been able to drop the suitcase down onto the doctor. Good point. However, according to Sarge, she woke up just as someone was trying to move her in her wheelchair. Huh. Someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. She must have been in the killer's way and had to be moved. Isn't that right, Mr. Atchison Wimperson? And if the killer had pushed the wheelchair with his bare hands, we may yet find the conclusive evidence we need. Exactly. Fortunately for us, that evidence slipped right through the killer's fingers. If only he'd been able to hold on to it just a little tighter. Now, he's neither able to discard nor alter it. He's neither able to discard nor alter it. That's how it is. Honestly, that piece of evidence wasn't even supposed to be here in this courtroom today. And yet, looks like sometimes things do get better. But this wasn't supposed to happen. No. Well, too bad. Because the evidence that sped away from you that night has come back to haunt you. Right here at this very trial. Your Honor, the defense's final piece of evidence is on this person.
Take that!
That's... On the night of the murder, Sarge passed out, only to come to and find that someone was pushing her wheelchair. That's when she fled back into her room. She didn't physically see a single soul after that. Not until Athena drew her out through that therapy session, that is. While the killer was able to wipe the prints on the suitcase off. The same can't be said for the prints that got away. My fellow Krainians. Whatever. Well, Mr. Paul Atchison Wimperson, try to explain your way out of this one. The podium is all yours. Paul Atchison, savior of crime. I'm not a crook. My political career can't end like this. I am destined for great things. Something's wrong. Is it real? It's a dream, a nightmare. Oh, huh? What? Wait, what, really? Oh, no way. Yeah. Arrested on murder charges and stripped of his electoral win. People actually vote? Oh, please. Wait, don't go. No, no, please. Maybe you're just freaking out. Okay. Goodbye. What's that noise? Mr. Ashton Wimperson? Are you alright? Bailiff, get him to the first aid station on the double. Well, this was yet another unexpected turn of events. In light of everything that has been revealed, it seems this the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb. And it seems Mr. Paul Ashton Wimperson can be considered a suspect in Dr. Buff's murder. Apollo, I want to thank you for everything. Thanks to you, I didn't have to keep bending the truth. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Don't mention it. You were amazing today, Apollo. Well, I couldn't have done it without Dirk.
A dragon never yields.
Even with wounded, a dragon bites down hard, and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey to the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get to the truth.
A dragon never yields. Every lawyer should take that to heart.
As it seems, both sides have no further objections. Dirk Sadmahi, please take the stand. This court awards the orb to the Defiant Dragons per the stated transfer agreement. Yay. It's had to reset. Yeah, well, it doesn't have a big not guilty thing, because that's not really what was on trial here. Should the Kingdom of Kodaiing claim ownership, the matter may have to be deliberated in court all over again. I just hope, or shall I say pray, that I'm not the judge presiding over that one. Indeed. A trial like that might spark an international incident. Still, there are bigger and more momentous things astir in the air.
Revolution. Dirk's really serious about this.
This court is adjourned. May 17th, District Court, Defendant's Lobby, number 3, was it? Yes. Nice work, son. You've finally broken through the last obstacle on the road to revolution.
Revolution? It just doesn't seem real.
Yes, well, to think you actually defeated the Fighting Phoenix. All I can say is, that's my boy.
Oh, Mr. Wright did have his hands tied. Who knows if I'd have won if he'd been able to fight me head on. I see it more like you saved Mr. Wright. Saved him? Yeah, remember what he said? He didn't have to bend the truth anymore, and it was all thanks to you. I don't know about that. Still, I guess it is kind of nice to be appreciated. Mr. Dirk? Now that the Holy Mother's face has been revealed, are you going to have a spirit meeting and try channeling her? I, for one, would love to see the return of the legendary founder. Yeah, just think about it. Being able to speak to someone right out of the history books.
Unfortunately, it's not that easy.
What? Why?
Face isn't enough. You also need the true name of the one you're attempting to channel.
Oh, right. Pearl mentioned something like that.
The Founder's true name is only known to the priestess who's been crowned queen. In short, the only living person who knows it is the current queen of Kodaiing, Garam.
Oh, so without her help, we won't be seeing the founder anytime soon? That's no fun. Founder's Orb updated in the court record. The fact that it's doing that is... The Founder's form has appeared from within. Seems only the Queen knows the Founder's real name. So, Dirk, what will you do now? First, I'll start by tracing the route by which the orb came into Dr. Buff's hands. Since we now know it was Paul Ashton that asked the Doctor to study it, isn't he the one who stole it? No, a political nobody like him couldn't get anywhere near the orb, let alone steal it. He must have had inside help. My money is on someone connected to the royal family. Oh, right, he said something to that effect back in the cave. Whoever it may be, we need to expose their dirty scheme to the light of day. Well, I'm sure Mr. Wright has plenty of information, courtesy of his dirty client. He might be able to shed some light on this. Private Justice! Oh no. That was fine work you did at the trial today. You did your sergeant proud. Back at you, Sarge. It took real courage to leave your room like that. It's all thanks to you and Corpsewoman Sykes. With my siege defense over, I can finally sally forth. The battle's only just begun. One for me and me alone to fight. To lose your mother and then your father. What a terrible thing to endure. Yeah. And being wheelchair-bound doesn't help. Private Justice. I've been thinking. It's about time I stood on my own 2 feet. After all, I no longer have Papa to coddle me. I'm afraid I don't follow. Oops. Take a good look, soldier. This is one small step for man, and one giant leap for me. Hold my drone for me, will you, Private Justice? Yes, sir. What is she up to? Whoa. She's standing? What's this, Sarge? You mean your legs there? The doctor told me I was ready to walk again months ago. But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I'd have to leave the house. So I faked it. Makes sense, but I kept pretending I couldn't walk. But I know Papa's watching over me now, and I hate to disappoint him. So, from this day forth, I'm going to march forward on my own 2 feet. A brave kid, trying to move forward like this. But it must be so hard this soon after her father's death. Don't you ever stop. Just keep on walking, comrade. Stay brave, because there will be days when you'll want to stop. But I have faith you'll find a way to muster the strength to push through them. Yeah, you can do it. Hey, Daddy's back. Mr. Wright, what's that look on his face for?
Oh, Apollo.
Is everything alright with Miss Faye?
She's safe. For now.
Well then, we'd better go save her, quick. Where is she anyway?
I'm afraid I have some bad news.
Uh-huh.
Maya's not here in the States. She's still in Kurain. And she's still being held hostage by the mastermind behind this whole thing.
The mastermind?
That's right. Paul Ashton Wimperson was nothing more than a pawn. Maya's true abductor is in the kingdom of Kurain.
What? I don't understand, Mr. Wright. What in the world's going on over there?
As shocking as that news was, it was only the beginning. The beginning of something big. Big enough to shake Kadain to its very core. Revolution. I was being swept up in a mighty wave that nothing could stop. Of course, at the time, I had no idea what the days ahead had in store for us. Ooh. To be continued.
Alright. Still part of the same thing, which makes sense given the name of it. But it's a bit late now, so we can get into this next time. So, let's see, today is Monday, so on Friday we shall get back to it and get into that. I suppose I'll have to head over to Kadain. Other than that, on Wednesday I'll be doing more Pokemon Soul Stones. I've done a little bit of off-screen grinding, hatched that egg I had. I think I might keep the Pokemon that came out of it. It was an Azurill, and that would cover my fairy and water once it evolves. Which is pretty good coverage, better than trying to figure out how to evolve that Eevee. Might use the Eevee later, but I'm not sure how to get it into a fairy evolution in that particular thing. So that can be put off. Anyway, yes, Wednesday will be Pokemon, and then Friday we'll be back to Ace Attorney, and we'll see what's up with that. I suppose we'll probably go to Kadain. And then we'll see how that is, I guess. I believe that's all though. Have a nice day. Goodbye.